Today I am dealing with a very interesting chapter and basic chapter of chemistry, 9th class, that is matter in our surrounding. We know that the universe is made up of matter and energy. Without matter and energy, the universe does not exist. Because of that, between matter and between energy, there will be some relationship. In our day-to-day life, between matter and energy, there will be an interaction. Because of that interaction only, the universe still exists. Then, before going to the relationship between matter and energy, we should study about what you mean by matter, what are the properties of matter, how these matters are arranged. Then, according to the definition of matter, what do you mean by matter? What it explains that the matter is nothing but anything or everything which occupies space and have a mass. We can call it as a matter. Matter means anything which occupies space and have a mass. The definition states anything, whatever the things which occupy space, it should occupy the space and as well as it has some mass. Because of that, in our universe, whatever the things you imagine, those all comes under the topic matter. Just take example this chalk only. Is the chalk occupy some space? For example, take here this is the empty space. When I kept this chalk piece, it occupies some space, and when you weigh this chalk, it has some mass. Because of that only, we can call this matter as this chalk as a matter. And also take this duster. This duster is also matter because it occupies some space and also it has some mass. Because of that only, this duster is also comes under matter. Not only this chalk and duster, whatever the air we breathe, that is also comes under the matter, because air also has some mass and it occupies some space. Because of that, air we breathe, that is also matter, and this bench, and not only the non-living things, living things means the animals, human beings, these all comes under the topic matter. Then the simple definition of matter is anything or everything which occupies space and have a mass, we can call it as a matter. Then how these matters are made up? What is the criteria behind these matters? See here, this chalk is looking like continuous one. Means this chalk is a matter. Yes or no? Yes, because this occupies space and it has some mass. Because of that, this chalk piece is a matter. When you see this chalk piece, it looks like a continuous one. Then the chalk is made up of particles. How you prove the chalk is made up of particles? Take this chalk and crush it. When you crush this chalk, it split into the small pieces. Yes, see here, this chalk is continuous one, but when I crush it, it turns to the small piece. Means from these small pieces only this chalk is made. Then the matter is made up of small particles. Means the building blocks of this matter is particles only. When the particles are aggregate, in large number, it develops the chalk. Because of that, behind every matter there are small or tiny particles. Because of that tiny particles, the matters are made. Then how small these? Yes, the matter occupies space and have a mass, and this matter is made up of particles. Then what is the size of these particles? Just imagine, take one raindrop. If you consider a raindrop, it contains 10 raised to 21 particles. A single raindrop contains 10 raised to 21 particles. Means this much of particles are exist in a single raindrop. Means to make a single raindrop, it requires 10 raised to 21 particles. Because of that, we can conclude the particles are very very small in size, and when you aggregate with a large number, it forms a big matter. This is the basic idea behind matter, and this is some ideas regarding with your matter. Means before that, anything which occupies space and have mass, we can call it as a matter, and matter is made up of what? Tiny particles. Matter is made up of tiny particles, and these tiny particles are smaller in size, very very small, smaller in size. Just one example is, take a raindrop. Okay, not only this chalk, just imagine you are holding on glass sheet, a large glass sheet. What happens? The glass sheet looking like the continuous one, but when you drop, what happens? That glass, it breaks into small piece. Then that glass also indicates the matter is made up of small particles. Before going to next topic, we have some evidence. By using those evidence, we can prove the matter is made up of particles, and these particles are in continuous motion. Not only these matters are made up of particles, these particles are in the continuous motion. Now we will prove our matter property by using some models. This matter is based on two properties. One is based on appearance, another one is based on composition. Means we can categorize our matter based on two things. One is based on appearance, and another one is based on composition. Based on appearance is comes under the physical properties. And based on composition is comes under the chemical properties. In this chapter, we will study based on appearance, but in further chapter, we will study based on composition. The based on appearance means by considering physical property, we can categorize the matters. Based on composition means by taking the chemical properties, we can categorize our matter. But in this chapter, we will study only based on appearance, but in further chapters, we will study the based on composition. Then our next topic, that is evidence to show matter is made up of particles, and these particles are in movement. I already explained that the matter is made up of particles. Then how? Just take one example. This water. Is this water is a matter? Is this water matter? Yes, because it occupies some space and it has some mass. Because of that, we can call this water is a matter. Then take one chemical, that is copper sulfate. This copper sulfate is blue in color. When I add solid copper sulfate to the water, is this copper sulfate also matter? Because it has some mass and occupies space. Because of that, when I add this solid copper sulfate to water, what happens to the water? See here, the color is going to change from colorless to blue. Yes or no? The water turns from colorless to blue without stirring. Without stirring, this water is colorless. It turns to blue, and it indicates the particles are in movement. Because of that, and this matter is made up of particles. Just imagine you have sugar. You have a sugar. Add that sugar to the water. What happens after a few seconds? That sugar disappears. Because the particles goes on disappear when it dissolve in water. Means the idea behind that is this water is colorless, turns to blue. It after some times it completely turns to blue. Then what is the idea behind this? Water is a matter. Water is also matter. Our chemical, that is copper sulfate, is also matter. Why that water turns to blue? See here, now it turns to blue because our copper sulfate occupies the space of water. Means in a matter there will be some interparticle space. In a water there will be some interparticle space. That interparticle space is occupied by the particles of copper sulfate. Understood? Means the water is also matter. This water is made up of particles. This copper sulfate is also matter. This copper sulfate also made up of particles. When I add blue color copper sulfate to the water, because of motion, the colorless water is turns to blue, and it explains, it shows the particles are always in motion. And not only this point, between water and between copper sulfate particles there will be some interparticle space. Just imagine this finger is also one particle and this finger is also one particles. Like this interparticle space between these two fingers there will be some space like that. Between the particles there are some space, that is nothing but a interparticle space. When the particles of copper sulfate is occupied the interparticle space of water, this is the particles of water, when the interparticle space is occupied by the copper sulfate particles, then it turns to blue. This is the one evidence which shows the particles are in motion and it is made up of tiny particles. Not only it is only in the solid and liquid. Not only this property is present in solid and liquid, it also present in between gases. Just imagine in your home LPG is in leakage. Yes, in your home LPG is in leakage. Is we can possible to detect that? Is we can possible to detect? Yes, we can possible to detect the leakage of LPG gas. How and why? Because the particles present in that LPG gas is mixed with the air. Means the particles are in motion and the particles of LPG gas is mixed with the particles of air. Because of that only we can possible to detect the leakage of LPG. Because of that, because of this movement, because of this particle, we can possible to detect the leakage of gas. This is the common idea behind this evidence to show the matter is made up of particles and matter is also in the movement. Yes, I explained the movement. Which type of movement? There are two type of movement, two type of mixing. One is a diffusion, another one is Brownian motion. Okay. In our next class, we will study the properties of matter and the Brownian motion and diffusion. Okay. Now, in this class, we studied that the matter definition. What is the definition of matter? Anything or everything which occupies space and have a mass, we can call it as a matter. Examples: the whatever the things present around us, all are comes under the examples of matter, and we can categorize the matter. We can study the matter under two headings. One is based on appearance, that is nothing but a physical property. Based on composition, that is nothing but a chemical property. And these matters are made up of particles. The size of particle is very small, and these particles are in constant motion. Thank you.